the place to be. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Hey YouTube, DooMER170 here. Today I thought I'd do something a little different with the video and show you guys a PC building tutorial. This is my own take on how to do it. I'm pretty good at it. I've got about 15 plus years experience. My son just recently upgraded his PC, so we took his old parts and we're building a low-end gaming PC for his girlfriend. So I took the opportunity to record the process, and here we go. Alright, and here's all the parts that you're going to need. Okay, you've got your RAM, you've got your cooling fan, the hard drive, thermal paste for the processor itself, video card, some screws, anti-static wristband, power supply, and case, as well as motherboard. Can't forget the motherboard, of course. Alright, let's go ahead and get this thing started pieced together. So for our build today, the case we'll be using is just this standard old store-bought Hewlett-Packard tower. You know, nothing special about this at all. Just your standard run-of-the-mill PC tower. And for the board, we are using the Gigabyte GA EP45 UD3P. I believe it takes, DDR2 RAM, and we'll be putting a Core 2 Quad 9550 in it, as well as 8 gigs of RAM, 4 2-gig sticks. For the video card, we're going to be using the the R7 240, the Radeon card, and a 1 terabyte hard drive, and a 500 watt power supply. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so for the first step, we're going to apply some thermal paste to the CPU here. This is just some stuff I got from Amazon.com. I think it cost me less than 10 bucks. Usually comes in like a syringe to apply it, but right here I got like a spatula. What I do, it just takes a very small amount. I'm putting quite a bit of extra on here, but it's okay. I've got this under control. Okay, so I'm just going to spread it across the processor nice and evenly. Make sure the whole top surface is covered in the paste. That's how I like to do it. Go ahead and criticize if you want. I know everybody has their methods here, but this happens to be mine. So nice thin even layer all the way across. Alright, now okay, hit the top one. Okay, so yeah, step one, we got our motherboard out here. Got our CPU right here with thermal paste applied. If you look real close here to this corner, you'll see a little gold arrow. Okay, now here, get a zoom in shot. And now on the board, it's really hard to see, but there's a little arrow right here. So you line up the arrow just like that, drop it in nice and easy. Lid down, arm down. Processor is secured. Okay, our next step is the cooler fan. Very important. Get your cooler fan. In this particular, a lot of cooler fans are different, but in this particular one is, let's see here, we got to find the header for it. Okay, so just line it up. And let's see, the arrows say turn that way, so, oh wait, I think it's, yeah, you just do that with all four. With all four of those secured, then you just plug it in. You'll see it's labeled right here, CPU fan. Very important. Lines right up. Perfect. Alright, continuing on with our next step. We insert our RAM. So you just, these little levers, pull them all back. and you just snap them in like that. You'll feel it snap in, you'll hear it. There's no mistaking it. When you feel that nice click, you know your stick is in. So after some realization that the original case we were going to use is too small, we switched to another case I had laying around. So, picking up where we left off, I/O shield goes in just like that. Snaps right in easily. Okay, then you take your board. You make sure that your standoff posts, your motherboard standoff posts, are in the correct spot for your corresponding motherboard. In this case, they already are. It's a full-size ATX board. So yeah, I went ahead and did that off camera. So you gently place the board in just like that. Line it up with your post, your standoff posts, just like that. And I'm going to go ahead and off camera put the screws in, but as you can see here, you know, it's pretty, if you can't understand that, then you probably have no business building a computer. That these holes are where the screws go in to hold the motherboard in place. Motherboard must be grounded while you know, in the board in operation. So I'll go ahead and be back at you with the screws magically in place. Okay, motherboard screws are placed. Motherboard is mounted completely. Next, you want to hook up your power reset, HDD indicator, and power LED. So, as you can see, these little wires, they're labeled. That one says power SW for power switch. This one is, oh yeah, I've got them mixed. Oh yeah, this is because I salvaged from another board. Anyway, so let's see here. I want to find out which one is, I definitely want to say, yeah. Okay, so you find the header on your board here. They're labeled. I already know exactly where mine is. So I'm just going to hook up my power switch right now because I don't ever use reset switches. Yeah, so, and I'll know when the power's on when the fan starts spinning. So I'm just trying to cut corners here right now. Alright, next is power. We've got to hook up power. So, take your power supply right here. Oh, I should probably, you know what, actually we're going to go ahead and we're going to hook up some fans while we're here. There we go, system fan. System fan is hooked in. Alright, so power supply, slide it in. I don't have any screws, or I do have one. So you take your screws, you mount your power supply, make sure it doesn't move around. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and these are usually labeled. Those are PCI Express. We want so I'm trying to find my right one. Okay, so first, yeah, I always start with my 24-pin ATX connector. This supplies all of the power to the board. Just goes in just like that. You know, there's only one way to go in. You'll see the clip and you'll feel the little notch that the clip goes on. The clip is on this side right here. Alright, then you want to find, oh, CPU power. Here we go. They're usually labeled. This is a, I think this is a rather cheapo power supply, so for some reason they're not labeled. But here's our CPU power. This one takes 8 pins. Most modern boards do. Okay, CPU is powered up. Make sure that your wires are not going to interfere with the fan. So you just tuck those out of the way, like so. Then, okay, so motherboard has power, CPU has power. Then we're going to put, oh yeah, we're going to connect all the fans. So this fan takes a 4-pin Molex connector. Let's see which one's the most convenient to use, because this power supply has a lot of 4-pin Molex connectors, which is convenient in this case. So there we go. That front fan right here has power now. All right. Then our particular graphics card we're using today does not require any external power. So we're going to go ahead and slap that in, the R7 This was my cameraman's first video card from 5 years ago approximately. You've come a long ways, dude. Look at that puny thing, and then you know what you're running now. You got a much bigger one. Okay, so next we need storage. We're just about done here too. So we got our 1 terabyte hard drive. This case happens to be a toolless case, so you don't need normally you would screw the hard drive in. I'm having a hard time getting it in straight. It's because the RAM's in the way. There it is. Oh, these are not recommended. There we go. Now it's locked in. Hard drive is locked in. Put our RAM sticks back in. Okay, the hard drive needs power, of course. This is a SATA hard drive. You'll see that they are L-shaped on inside of the connector, so they only go on one way. And then the hard drive needs to communicate with the motherboard somehow, which is where these SATA cables come in. They're also L-shaped. I usually like to look for SATA port 0. They're labeled right here. SATA port 0 is this one. That doesn't matter really which one you put it in, especially if you're only using one hard drive. So one end goes into the motherboard, other end goes directly into the hard drive. Okay? You just tuck this extra SATA cable away. The same exact concept goes for the CD drive. We're not hooking up a CD drive today. CD drives are obsolete. So we're going to tuck away I believe that's everything. Yes, it is. So then we tuck away our extra power cables. Oh, this is USB 3.0, which I don't think this board does not have. And there you have a finished PC. So we're gonna go ahead and be right back, and we'll show you how it goes when we plug it in and turn it on. All right, PC's assembled, power cord's plugged in. Open up the door here, hit our power button. Well, what do you know? First try works. Go ahead and get a zoom in on that. and no beeps either. That's a good thing. So I'm sure it's posting. So anyway, thanks for watching. Until next time.